The game we've all been waiting for is here. We'll give you a look ahead at LSU versus Alabama.
Plus, a former candidate for governor announces his support for John Bel Edwards. We'll show you why Republicans are not happy.
And many students play racquetball at the UREC, but one student is hoping to take a skill all the way to the Olympics.
Tiger TV Newsbeat starts right now.
Good evening and welcome to Newsbeat. I'm Jackie Massey.
And I'm Michael Edmondson. Before we start, we have some developing news. An LSU student arrested for taking inappropriate pictures of her roommate has been released from jail.
That's right. Marisa Saladino was arrested yesterday on a video voyeurism charge after taking pictures of her roommate who was naked in their Blake Hall dorm earlier this month. Saladino allegedly sent the pictures to her mother and showed them to 3 of her friends. A statement from the university says the incident is currently under investigation. We'll post updates on our website. That's tigertv.tv.com. You can go there for more.
Now LSU fans across the state are gearing up for the big matchup against SEC rivals, the Alabama Crimson Tide.
That's right. Here's Tiger TV sports director Johnny Lombardi with a quick preview of what to expect in Tuscaloosa.
Thanks, guys. It's that time of year again. It's LSU Alabama week, and once again, the stakes are high as 2 college football heavyweights are set to duke it out once again in Tuscaloosa on Saturday night. It's been 4 long years of heartbreak for LSU against Alabama since the national championship game. For the first time since 2011, the Tigers are ranked higher than the Tide and are also undefeated going into the big game. I'll have a complete breakdown of the matchups to look for Saturday coming up later in the show, so make sure to stay tuned. But for now, let's go back to Michael and Jackie at the desk.
Thanks, Johnny. Earlier today, Lieutenant Governor Jay Darden announced his endorsement of John Bel Edwards as governor. Darden spoke to Tiger TV about why it was important to make the announcement on campus.
I wanted to find a place that was symbolic, and obviously LSU is to me, and LSU is the future of the state, and higher education is the future of the state, so I thought it important to make this statement here. I think the state needs somebody who's going to bring us together. It's what I've been talking about during the campaign, and not divide us, and I think John Bel is the guy to do it. I think the Republican legislature is going to dictate a lot of what happens, and I think he's got an ability to work with that.
Darden lost the primary election for governor in October. A runoff election between Edwards and Senator David Vitter will take place November on the 21st. The Louisiana GOP is also not as supportive of Darden's endorsement of Edwards, calling him, quote, the Nick Saban of Louisiana politics. In a letter from LA GOP Chairman Roger Valère and Republican National Committee Chairman Reince Priebus, the endorsement was called an act of betrayal. They go on to say, quote, you cannot claim to be a conservative fighter for Louisiana principles and publicly endorse an Obama liberal like Mr. Edwards. Recent polls show Edwards with a double-digit lead over Vitter. Secretary of State Tom Shedler encourages all Louisiana residents to participate, even if you can't make it to the polls on the 21st. Early voting will begin this Saturday and conclude November 14th from 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. However, there will be no early voting on November 8th or on November 11th because of the Veterans Day holiday.
One of the topics concerning students is the rising cost of public education. Tiger TV reporter Max Merchant takes a look at why LSU students are struggling to manage their money.
College isn't always easy, especially when money's involved. For LSU students, this means balancing the textbook with the checkbook.
I don't have weekends. I work Friday nights, doubles on Saturday, double on Sunday, and then back in school and work on Monday, so.
Many students like Hunter Osborne have to work 2 jobs just to get by. Stress and fatigue just come with the job. LSU ranks 5th lowest in terms of cost and attendance, though only 35% of students receive federal loans. And for the average LSU student, their average debt can reach to $19,000. Of course, scholarships and TOPS can help drive down costs. But is it enough? Not everyone can take advantage of things like TOPS.
You know, coming into LSU, I'm a transfer student, so I don't get, say, like TOPS that a lot of, state students get, and maybe a few other scholarships that students get, coming right out of high school. So I do have to kind of bear the bulk.
According to a Citigroup survey, almost 4 out of 5 college students keep part-time jobs while studying, working an average of 19 hours a week.
There's revived push to boost the minimum wage and influence the 2016 presidential elections. Fast food workers are planning a nationwide strike this coming Tuesday. Workers from 270 cities are expected to walk out on their jobs demanding a living wage of $15 an hour and the right to unionize. At the same time, thousands of protesters are expected to make their voices heard Tuesday at the Republican presidential debate in Milwaukee. The group representing fast food workers has been successful in influencing cities like New York, San Francisco, and Los Angeles to establish a $15 minimum wage. In other news, the CDC is now joining Washington and Oregon health officials to investigate an E. coli outbreak linked to Chipotle restaurants. 39 people have reported illnesses from E. coli after eating at various Chipotle locations. The CDC says there is no evidence that restaurants in other states were affected, and the source of the infection is still unknown. The chain was voluntarily closing 34 restaurants in the Pacific Northwest as a cautionary state.
LSU Relay for Life is commemorating those affected by cancer at the Bell Tower tonight. As part of Relay for Life's Beat Bama Week celebration, and the Luminaria ceremony will begin at 8. The organization encourages students to donate or create a team at relayforlife.org/LSU. Dance Marathon at LSU is also participating in Beat Bama activities this week. This footage from LSU last year shows the excitement of the main event. But this week, the organization collected money at Free Speech Alley to benefit Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital. Tonight, a benefit battle of the band's concert at Barcadia on Highland hopes to gather supporters. Tickets are $6 at the door, and the show started at 5. But there's still time to head on over for the kids. Dance Marathon supporter Amanda Quelan says cancer victims need our help now more than ever.
Well, it's important just because it's such a prevalent thing in our society of people who are sick with cancer or have known someone who is, and so it's really important to continue research to try to prevent further people being affected by cancer.
Also, keep an eye out for that news because it appears Johnny Knoxville may be a guest judge tonight at the Dance Marathon event. When we come back, we'll show you about a 2016 Olympic hopeful. Don't go anywhere. Well, as we near finals week and assignments and tests seem to overwhelm students, many are finding themselves tempted to pop a pill to make the grade. Tiger TV reporter Brett Hauser shows us the negative effects those drugs can take on your health.
Cope with the fast-paced college curriculum, a new trend has emerged involving students taking prescription drugs intended for attention deficit disorders, even if they are not prescribed. Students who are prescribed require these drugs to be able to focus like the average student.
I got prescribed to the medicine as a kid, and then whenever I came back to college, I realized I really needed something extra to help me focus again.
But these drugs provide a way for students who are not diagnosed with ADD to focus for lengthy periods of time. One LSU student who admits to using Vyvanse unprescribed says, quote, "Sometimes I have so much to do, I feel like I'll never get it done without a Vyvanse."
I think it's irritating because I think that it's just abusing the drug because it gives it a bad name and it makes it seem like it's just something that anyone can casually take for whatever reason.
Although some students rely on these drugs, health officials say that students are not aware of the negative effects. Taking these pills unprescribed can lead to addiction, increased blood pressure, and irregular heartbeat. Students should learn the dangers of these unprescribed drugs before relying on them. This is Brett Hauser with Tiger TV.
Health officials say that students can avoid the urge to use these study drugs by not procrastinating on schoolwork, and allowing ample break time while studying to help maintain focus. We'll be right back after these messages.
Tiger fans all across campus are gearing up for Saturday's matchup against the SEC rivals, the University of Alabama. While some students are fortunate enough to make the trip to Tuscaloosa, Tiger TV reporter Gillen Breedy shows us the spots around Baton Rouge where you can catch the game.
Fans are gearing up for the highly anticipated Alabama game this Saturday. Even though the game is being held in Tuscaloosa, that doesn't stop Tiger fans from showing their support.
Actually planning on leaving Friday right after school to go to the game with my family.
Students not lucky enough to attend the game are planning on tuning in, whether it be at an apartment with friends or at a restaurant in town.
Just hang out with my friends and stuff during it and just pray that it's just going to be a good game.
Going to go to this theater in our apartment complex on the first floor. We're going to try to rent it out for that night and invite some friends over and watch it there.
Local businesses such as the Varsity on Highland and the bars in Tigerland are offering game day specials to get fans to come out and watch the game, promoting discounted drinks and a reduced cover to get in. Students lovingly called the week before the top 10 matchup Bama Hate Week, a week dedicated to expressing school pride, and students are doing just that by taking to social media to show how they truly feel about Alabama.
Most of our classes kind of want to add something Bama Hate Weeks. Like, you have to find bad websites for one of my classes, and people have brought in like the Bama acceptance website and all.
Despite past matchups with Alabama, fans are hopeful that the Tigers will come out and perform just like they have the entire season.
The past few years, I've been very nervous about this game, but this year I don't feel as nervous, strictly because we have Leonard Fournette and a better team than I've seen in a long time. Booga Nation.
For Tiger TV, I'm Gillian Breedy.
When we come back, Christmas chaos. The aisles are stocked with garland and toys. We just got into November. Find out if students think it's too crazy next. If you've been out shopping lately, you've probably noticed a bit of change in the holiday decor. Just last weekend, stores were filled with skeletons and Frankenstein. Now shoppers can deck the halls with Santa Claus and Frosty the Snowman. But is this all too early? Tiger TV's Michaela Morgan went out to see if LSU students are not only bleeding purple and gold, but red and green.
Even though Thanksgiving is still weeks away, here in the capital city, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. But is it too early for stores to make the switch from candy corn to candy cane? I went out to see firsthand if LSU students are trimming their Christmas trees before Thanksgiving turkeys.
Well, actually, I'm really excited. I'm actually about to go get a onesie for myself because I like having one around Christmas time. I don't think it can come fast enough, so I think after Halloween is the perfect time.
But not everyone is ready to give up trick-or-treating for Christmas caroling just yet.
As soon as you go trick-or-treating and stuff, the next day you got a Christmas tree in your house, so not everybody likes listening to Christmas music. If I had my way, I'd listen to Christmas music the night before Christmas and the day of Christmas.
Even though students might not all agree on when to cheer Yuletide, most LSU students can tell you when not to cheer Roll Tide. For Tiger TV, I'm Michaela Morgan.
And one company's putting a little holiday spirit in your coffee starting next week. Starbucks is rolling out red cups and seasonal flavors starting Tuesday. Available themed flavors will include chestnut praline, gingerbread, and eggnog lattes, along with a peppermint mocha. And did you know Starbucks has a secret menu filled with all kinds of drink recipes that you will never see in the real menu? To get these secret drinks, all you have to do is tell the barista the ingredients, and it's all yours. One of the latest additions is butterbeer from Harry Potter. So no need to go to Universal Studios for that sweet drink, because you can get it right here at your regular Starbucks.
I would most definitely try it and hope it's actually really delicious.
Other secret menu recipes include apple pie frappuccino, cinnamon toast crunch, caramel snickerdoodle, and grasshopper frappuccino. Yes, these are all flavors. Wow.
Wow, that sounds really yummy, Michael.
It does.
I need to get some after the show. Well, after the break, we'll rejoin Johnny Lombardi with more sports from across campus.
Stay tuned.
Hello, everybody. Johnny Lombardi here, and welcome to sports. The second-ranked LSU Tigers head to Tuscaloosa this weekend for their annual showdown with the Alabama Crimson Tide. The fourth-ranked Tide have held serve in the rivalry the past 4 seasons, beating the Tigers 4 straight times, leaving Tiger fans in heartbreak for the last 1,396 days. Taking a look back at how we got here, 2011, the game of the century, number 1 LSU versus number 2 Alabama in Tuscaloosa. Eric Reed's interception at the goal line, turning the game around, Drew Alleman overtime field goal, giving the Tigers the 9-6 win. The rematch in the BCS championship game, the game that Tiger fans want to forget. Jordan Jefferson with the interception. Alabama defeating LSU 21-0 to win the national championship game and break the hearts of LSU fans. 2012, the rematch in Death Valley. Tigers leading the game, but TJ Yeldon on the screen pass under a minute to go gives Alabama the lead, 21-17, the number 1 ranked Tide. Break the hearts of LSU once again. 2013, now back in Tuscaloosa, J.C. Copeland fumbling on the goal line to start the game, recovered by Alabama, and LSU would not recover after this. TJ Yeldon here with the score at the pylon. 38-17, number 1 Alabama rolls the Tigers and Zach Mettenberger. And then last season in Death Valley, Alabama tying the game 13-13 late to send it to overtime. Sims here the pass in OT. Alabama takes the lead in the first overtime session, and they would not look back. Fourth down, Anthony Jennings cannot find Malachi Dupree. It's incomplete. Alabama wins 20-13 to push their streak up to 4 games in the rivalry. The players realize the weight of the losing streak upon the shoulders of the fan base, but they're not letting that pressure become too large during their preparation for the Tide.
The coaches try and stay out of that as far as, remind us how we lost in the last 4 years. Every year we play them, it's a tough game, and, they just come out on top the last few. But, amongst the players, we talk about it. We know it's very relevant.
The key battle Saturday is going to take place between LSU's Leonard Fournette and Alabama's top-ranked rush defense. Fournette, the nation's leading rusher, gets set for his biggest test of the season, so he'll have to go up against the stout defensive line of the Crimson Tide. In a best-on-best matchup between the Tigers' O-line and rushing attack and the Tide's vaunted run defense, Heisman hopefuls Leonard Fournette and Alabama's Derrick Henry will be on center stage on Saturday. Let's take a quick look at some of the other action going on around the college football world. Obviously the biggest game of the weekend, number 2 LSU at number 4 Alabama in prime time on CBS. Number 16 Florida State hits the road at number 1 Clemson. The Tigers trying to go undefeated as they're the top-ranked team in the first college football playoff poll. Number 8 TCU at number 14 Oklahoma State. A pair of unbeaten Big 12 teams go to battle in Stillwater on Fox. And Arkansas hits the road to Oxford to take on number 18 Ole Miss, who actually still controls their destiny to win the SEC West. But the big game of the day, as I said, LSU and Alabama kicking off at 7:10 Central Time on CBS. Make sure to keep it with Tiger TV Sports as Taylor Crett and I are making the trip to Tuscaloosa. So be sure to check out tigertv.tv for updates and game recap all weekend long. That's it for sports. We'll be right back with more news.
The first snow of the season fell in northern Arizona today, and no one enjoyed it more than the bears at the Bearizona Wildlife Park in Williams, Arizona. The park is expected to get up to 6 inches. Park officials say the bears were happy to see a change in the scenery and played it in as much as they could. The park plans to stay open, and it allows families to drive through to get a peek at wildlife in their natural habitat.
Well, the rare long silent film co-created by Walt Disney has been rediscovered. Sleigh Bells is a 1928 cartoon starring Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, the first character Disney ever created. Researchers at the British Film Institute recently rediscovered Sleigh Bells, which had been in its national archive for over decades. The film has since been digitally remastered by Disney animators. Sleigh Bells will get its first public showing December 12th in London.
All right, well, that's our show for today. Right. You can keep up with Tiger TV with more news. Yep, I'm keeping it up on our website. That's tigertv.tv and social media.
And keep up with us again on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You know where we are. Have a good night.
Keep on keeping on, Tigers. Stay tuned for original copy coming up next. Have a good evening.